At the moment I'm recording this, I might be in the vicinity of some thunderstorms, so if you hear any low rumbles of thunder, I do apologize. Okay, let's start. Being an owner of the Deluxe Schumacher Edition, I did test out this car, this car, this car, and this car right here. But how difficult are these cars really? Well, let's start at the very beginning, starting with the 1991 Jordan 191. And what better track to test it at than at Belgium, which is where Schumacher made his debut. So I'm actually going to test this in two conditions, once in the dry and the other in the wet, just to compare them really. And I'm running on simulation damage, rules and flags, everything like this. Elite assists. Let's start.
It's race time here in Spa. As the cars are being prepared, let's join them trackside for the start of the Belgian Grand Prix.
Okay then, let's start. He said it, so let's actually start. Oh, goodness me. Okay, here we go. That's an okay setup. I'm gonna deal with it. Differential all the way down. Oh, I felt it vibrate. Hold up. Cody's, please resolve this issue. How can you have two controller presets at the same time? And I'm still feeling that vibrational sensation after adjusting it, but nonetheless, away we go. I'm telling you, the pull away, the getaway, it's always difficult, and this car... Oh, thanks for that. Thank you very much for that, other Jordan driver. The pull away is always tricky in this car. And as you can no doubt tell, the top speed is not that good, because it's a Jordan, and Jordans in 1991 were not that fast. Although it kind of has okay corner speed. Oh, man. It does slide around when you try and go on the throttle, which is what you expect when you're running it with traction control off. Oh no, that's slippery. That is way too slippery. I felt a bump there, and I'm last. Well then, if I fell all the way down the grid like that in the dry, I can't wait to try out the wet. Well, at least I could get a feel for the car now, since I'm all by myself. Well, this is very reminiscent to what happened to Schumacher's day at Belgium 91. Basically retired on the first lap, except I didn't actually retire here. I'm still in the race, though I'm way down the field. And I hear it scraping because probably the ride height's too low. Goes up Eau Rouge and Raidillon just fine. You might have to let up a tad bit if you're going up that corner. If you don't want to get some oversteer, I suggest you do lift off a little bit. Oh, that corner's the worst.
Okay, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap.
Jeff, I have no damage. What are you talking about? How does this not give me any damage? Look, the front wing is chipped. The front wing is so chipped, but that doesn't affect the performance of the car. So what are you talking about, Jeff? Please tell me, because I am clueless. Oh, that's a bit understeery. And that's a bit oversteery. And if you're wondering, yes, it is possible to get both at the exact same time. In real life, that's hard to say. So in high-speed corners, this car certainly does feel planted to the ground. It won't catch any oversteer if you're running on a good high-speed setup or a high downforce setup, though you'll find it lacks severely in terms of top speed. Let's see how fast it could top out at. 286. 286 in this car, at least with this setup that I improvised. That's totally really good. It's totally the best setup, and I always muck up that corner every time. I was not paying attention there. I couldn't tell you what I was looking at. Something else other than the track, that's for sure. Alright, I'm gonna let you have Jeff! God damn, you're more chatty than a chatty Cathy. I'm gonna let you have a listen to the engine on the Camel Straight and up Eau Rouge and Radion. It's a majestic sounding car. And hey, this time I didn't spin it out at that last corner. Good thing, too. Oh, although I did spin it. Oh, I spun it out of this corner. I got a bit of a hop. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to control. It's maneuverable, yes, but difficult to control. You don't feel any kind of understeer when going through corners, but if you get on curbs, expect to get a bit of oversteer and be prepared to countersteer those oversteers. At high speeds, you're just fine through curbs and grass and whatnot, but at low speed, be prepared to get a little bit of that. In the wet, expect it 5 times or 10 times more frequently. When the wet race finally comes, I'm going to be more worried about that than a man about to be fired from his job. Here we go then, final corner, and it's P20 in Belgium in the Jordan 191. Right, same tactic, but different conditions. Jordan 191, let's apply the suit again. This time at Belgium and in very wet conditions. Same settings, same assists. Let's go again for race number 2. I have a setup set already called Wet. Nonetheless, let's do some adjustments. 710 with the wings. Here we go. Wet race in Belgium in the 1991 Jordan. We got 5 lights, and the getaway is going to be a whole lot more rough than it was in the dry time. I told you about this. I told you. Oh, and I'm out. Oh my god. Oh, that is horrifying. Oh. Oh. Holy mother of God. Let's see that again. I had no clue how that happened. Let's see it again. In action. There I am right there. Boom. And right there's where I lose. Oh no, I think I may have clipped my tire. I think I clipped my tire. Let's see it again from this angle. And let's just slow it down. Did I clip my tire? Yes, I did. I rolled underneath my tire. Good God, that is violent. Oh, it's a good thing Schumacher's race didn't end like that. That is disastrous. Let's try this again. Straight from the top. Attempt number 2. The getaway is going to be worse in the wet than the dry, as obvious. You got to barely get on the power to get an okay getaway. And even then, you still won't have any control over the car. There's blue lights at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if the police are after these cars illegally driving on the track. I guess someone spun off at turn 1. Oh my god, a McLaren just swooped around me. Someone's gonna spin out here, I guarantee it. Yeah, you gotta slow down a lot through Eau Rouge and Radion, and I'm out!
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit.
There you go. You could spin out on a straightaway in 5th gear. Wow. Everybody's gonna swoop around me, which I kind of anticipate. I should have reduced the brake pressure to 90% and not leave it at 100, because I find myself locking up through every corner. No matter how hard I apply the brake pedal, I still find myself locking up. Or, yeah, it's starting to understeer a little bit. So it's pretty obvious that in the wet, the Jordan 191 is a whole lot more tricky to control as opposed to the dry. I can't even keep it in a straight line. Well, I'm 19th out of 20th, so basically last. I'm telling you, last, alright. Last. I'm spinning out in a straight line. If that makes any sense. And the car behind me pitted, and the car in 20th pitted, so now I'm in 18th place. So now I'm not last. Far too often I find myself tapping the brake, not having to hear my car locking up. Oh, I was not paying attention. What am I doing? Why did I not see the... You're a complete f***ing idiot. I'm a complete f***ing idiot. Look, the car behind is gaining on me quickly. I have no answer to him. Or her, whoever it is. I don't know. Oh my god, this corner! This corner! It's the end of my career, that corner. At Belgium, in the wet, in this car. Okay, really? Really? Just a slight tap of the steering wheel caused it to get a bunch of fishtail. A very horrible fishtail. Okay, lap 3. Let's see if I'll spin out at this corner again. Okay, I'm not at full throttle this time. Now I'm at full throttle. Okay. I'm not in the barrier.
Come on, you can win that place back.
Jeff! You expect a Jordan from 1991 to get past a Benetton from 1994. There's been so much scrutiny about the Benetton from 1994 that it was, well, a cheat machine. You really think that I, in a Jordan, could catch up to whoever the hell that is in a Benetton? Jeff, shut up so I could speak. I'm sorry I'm being self-righteous right now and arrogant, but it's hard to concentrate on multiple things. Okay, I think I might have to reduce the front brake bias, so I'm going to do that once I get on this straightaway. That prevents me from locking up. That might be a bit too much in dip. Okay, now I'm getting oversteer in the rear, which is where oversteer occurs. Add that to your racing dictionary. Oversteer occurs in the rear. Lock up, but not as long as it was with the brake bias at 50 whatever it was percent. 56, 57 was it? And I'm not even going to bother changing the differential to anything other than 50, because supposedly in the wet that gives you more traction. Now it's only a matter of keeping the car intact and not crashing into a barrier or a wall. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, I literally said keep it out of the barriers or the walls. What do I do the next lap? Do just that. Into the barriers or walls. The car behind is gaining on me. I am going to lose P19 by the last corner. Or maybe right now. Yep, certainly right now. Back it up. Go past. There you go. Okay. Well, as the race progresses, the car becomes more difficult to control. That's my hypothesis. As the race progresses, the car becomes more difficult and difficult to control. In the wet, it becomes near impossible to control. Oh no. No, 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 no. There goes the 150-meter board. That will be sorely missed. And just like last race, I finished P20. Here I am, putting along the line, along the start-finish line to finish P20 again. This time in spectacular style, I guess. Whew. Well, it's a sweat fest, I must say. That was a sweat fest of a race. So, my closing statement. How difficult is the Jordan 191? Well, in the dry, you get more downforce, which is expected. But at higher speeds, you won't see the car snap out as often, unless you get onto a curb or run a bit wide onto some runoff area or grass, gravel, whatever the heck. And in the wet, you're gonna experience oversteer no matter how fast the corner is. Even up through Eau Rouge and Raidillon through Belgium or the fast turnated Istanbul. You're gonna experience oversteer very, very frequently in that car because it's a classic car from the 90s. So, if you want a good challenge, drive the 1991 Jordan. Or any of these cars right here. Any of the older classic cars, any of the C2 classic cars are a good challenge. But if you don't have the Schumacher edition, then I'm afraid you can't drive this car and instead have to resort to these cars. So there you have it, the 1991 Jordan. A difficult car, though very famous for pioneering Michael Schumacher's career.